Hello and welcome back to the Reddit Battle Royale League Finals. This week, in week 4, we're moving over to the second half of the competition. Just to quickly summarize what happened last time, Dennis dominated last week's event, winning with 12 points ahead of Eamon and DJ, Trichter, and Kodiak, who were all very close together from second to fifth place, and then another little gap to Jake, Milan, Harrier, and Cookie. The standings now look like this. Trichter is leading 1.5 positions ahead of Kodiak and Emon, then another small little gap to Dennis, another small little gap to Harriet and DJ, and then the first slightly bigger gap, 3.5 positions down to our last season's winner Milan. And then we've got Drake and Cookie rounding off the field. And this week, we're going to be playing NMPZ Single Guess. Radox, what do you think of that?
Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting. Might be the most kind of ridiculous game mode that we have, and maybe also the most difficult one. And especially in country, it could get quite a bit different than the usual country game. Because first of all, you only have one guess, and then yeah, usually it's easy to get the country with 3 guesses, but if you just have one, a lot of locations get much harder than they used to. And for distance, it's not going to be that drastic of a change, but still, I would say they just get the picture that they have. And if it's just a few trees, as we've seen in the past, it can be, yeah, quite crazy as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a very interesting mode. I think in the later rounds of the country battle royale, it's probably not going to play too differently from the multi guess, because most of the time people already locked in by the time the timer runs out for the lock-in period anyway. So multi guesses wouldn't make much of a difference. But I could definitely imagine the first rounds being over a lot or well, not quicker, but more people dropping out a lot more quickly. And we could see some very quick country games. And yeah, for distance, as you said, it's not too big of a deal. It's not going to be too different, essentially, because we've still got, a minute per round. It's still going to take 10 minutes for every game. But it's going to be fun to see some potentially very bad guesses, which, you rarely see in some of the multi-guess rounds. But with that, I think we're pretty much ready for the games for today. So let's get into those. All right, and we are ready. Everyone managed to get here in time, sort of. And everyone's ready for our first event of the day. As we said in the intro, Battle Royale countries, NMPZ, single guess. Let's go.
Yeah, gonna be really interesting to see if people guess quickly or if when they are unsure or if they try to wait out other people.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, Kodiak's in straight away. My thought was probably Uruguay, maybe Argentina, but
Jeez, that's tough.
not
Yeah,
Uruguay,
could be.
not
I'm not
Brazil.
sure at all. Yeah, kind of.
I would say it's probably Argentina then. It kind of looked to me a bit like those advertisement signs you see in Montevideo on the street signs over there. But I think it's probably just, the two arrows pointing in both directions. Um which I think is an Argentinian thing, but I could be wrong. But yeah, either way, we see half of them waiting patiently, hoping that someone else gets it wrong.
Pause, jump.
I'm kind of curious in what they're thinking it could be, because for me, it only really leaves Argentina. I mean, I could still be wrong, of course, but be interesting to see if they're thinking like maybe Ecuador
Is
or
South Africa possible?
they're on the. I mean, the cars are kind of all over the
Maybe.
place, but I think more of them are on the right side.
Because it doesn't feel typically Argentina, but I would
Yeah,
say it definitely is the most likely case. But South Africa could also be.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't think it is. And everyone getting in there. Yeah, it was Argentina.
Yeah, it was almost Uruguay.
Yeah, La Plata.
Just and we got the famous Bolivian brick style houses that do not have to be Bolivia, but it can be at least.
It's an interesting one. You said Bolivia, and I was like, I'm not sure I see it. But yeah, the architecture definitely, especially those brick houses, look very Bolivian. But there's
The
not.
houses on the right, though, that's so weird. I
Yeah,
feel like,
it feels more like Ecuador to me, maybe, or something like that with the cars as well. But
yeah,
whatever that
that,
is, doesn't really look like a typical thing you'd see in Bolivia.
yeah, those, um, I forgot the word. Um, the top of the house on the right side, feels
Hmm.
like that, like something similar. It's usually in Mexico, in
Yeah,
Yucatan,
I could see
but
Mexico
but
as
it's
well.
probably not that because of all those brick houses there. It's probably not Mexico then.
Hmm.
But those houses remind me a little bit of that. The brick houses remind me of Bolivia. The green grass reminds me it's probably not super dry here.
I mean, Ecuador is pretty much halfway between Bolivia and Mexico, right?
Yeah, so it will make sense.
Combining both of it. Okay, it's not Colombia. It was Peru.
It
Okay.
is Peru. I was
Yeah.
actually considering that because Peru also has those brick
Hmm.
houses, but less often, I think. And here we got some language, Arabic,
Yeah.
right?
It says something like the second word on the bus is university, but I'm just not quite sure what the first word is. I think
Yeah,
it's Isra University. Um,
could be.
Not sure if that is any help to the players or not. I mean, I would assume it's just Jordan, right? It's not Tunisia. Fichte got that one wrong.
Yeah, either Jordan or West Bank, right?
Can you click on West Bank?
I'm
It
not
was
sure
Jordan.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm not sure even.
Yeah. What have we got here? Europe. Is
Oh wow.
that the first Europe round today?
Uh, could be.
Yeah, we
I
had.
don't remember. Red houses, and it's not Sweden.
Yeah, it's a bit mountainous for Sweden. Um, I want to say probably eastern somewhere.
That roof of the White House there makes me think Bulgaria for some reason. The one in the middle,
Oh,
but
that one.
I don't know. There seems
Maybe.
be EU plate, but I mean not surprising.
I had some thoughts of maybe something like Slovakia. Maybe even Hungary.
Slovenia. Yeah, I don't know Slovenia.
Yeah. These are all kind of countries where I'm like, could be any of them really. A lot of people waiting, and that makes sense for this one for sure.
But no one dropped out so far, so it has
Mm.
to be there has to be something that says it that we don't know apparently.
Well, I mean, no one's guessed yet, so that's why no
Yeah,
one's
but
dropped out.
two red houses like this in Bulgaria
Not
sounds
Bulgaria,
like
no.
not gonna be
Not
that
Czechia, not
then.
Slovakia. It was Serbia. Okay.
Oh,
And Harry was the
Serbia.
only one who got it.
Wow.
I'm not even sure if everyone managed to bring to get a guess in there. I
Oh,
think I saw 4 guesses coming in. I'm not sure if the fifth person managed to get their guess in time.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
that's
don't
that's
know.
kind of what happens with single guess NPZ in Eastern Europe. There's so many different options that it could be, and we had like no clear indication of anything. It was just a couple of rural houses, and so everyone just waited. And you know, in a multi guess round, I think this one would have been relatively quickly, where a lot of people would have just made 1 or 2 guesses. A lot of countries would have already been out, and then like most people would have gotten it. But yep, that's the difference for single guesser. And it was
Yeah,
Harry yeah, who managed to win
those
it.
two those two neighbors that just painted their house red just for tonight's GeoGuessr round.
Yep. So we've got we've probably got a very interesting table right now. Yeah. A lot of draws right now. Harry obviously with that win leading. And then Jake, Dennis, Kodiak, and Eamon all drawing in second place currently. And I think we're probably shortly going to be ready for the second round. Um, I guess, yeah, Pastetli just wrote starting in 20. He
All
corrected
right.
himself to starting in 10. I was already wondering why we're starting in 20 and not in 10, but okay. Do you think we're going to see more of the same here, Radux, in the second round?
Um, yeah, there could be one round that ruins a lot of people, but yeah, it can also go the other way that it can go long. So yeah,
Yeah, let's see.
but yeah, the locations are awaited with more eagerly than usual, I would say.
Yeah,
And
that could also already be our first
yeah,
round to ruin a couple of people's games here.
Indonesia, Malaysia,
Philippines, maybe,
Thailand.
Thailand, Mexico, I could even see, maybe.
Yeah, it is possible, maybe, but rather unlikely. Cambodia also, but probably also rather unlikely. That the
Yeah.
coloring of the house, that's a unusual
Yeah,
coloring.
that's what made me think of Mexico mostly.
That makes me think, yeah, Mexico as well, but
Or Philippines, maybe.
I think Indonesia also
Yeah,
uses
that
colors like
too.
that in that contrast a lot. So
One of
I
those three.
would probably go Indonesia.
Hmm.
It's also quite mountainous,
There's a little bit written
but
on the
yeah.
garbage can, but it's not really readable. I mean, the one side I think says Tatka or Tadika, but whatever that may mean, I don't know. And everyone's just waiting again.
Pause champ.
They've only got a couple more seconds. And.
For
Yeah,
Philippines, I
it
saw.
was Malaysia. Oh, Harriet was the only one who got it right.
Really? How
Well,
does he
that was game
always
two.
know?
But that's of course the disadvantage. I guess technically, it depends if you call it a disadvantage or not. But because everyone waited so long, like I guess the third or fourth person who guessed Philippines already knew that it was going to be wrong, but there was no time to change their guess anymore anyway. So you can wait only so long before you're kind of locked into what you're guessing anyway. And I guess at that point, all you're doing is just withholding information from everyone else by not guessing earlier. But that was certainly a very interesting round.
That went quick. I didn't expect it that this would be possible.
Oh, Harriet just wrote that he noticed the plate had a little bit of black on it, on the plate of the car.
Oh, really?
So I get, I mean, you know, could have still been Indonesia for that.
Yeah, no. Did anyone go in Indonesia? I did not. I saw like
So,
4 or 5 Philippine flags in a row, and then I didn't see anything anymore.
yeah, same. I think I saw one more other flag that wasn't Philippines, but I don't remember which one it was. But I think probably people are ready for the next round. I mean, they were ready for the last one. Not a lot of time has passed, so once Bestetli writes.
So actually, the players are writing that someone saw the plate, but apparently some players didn't see the plate, and I probably assume it's because I think in GeoGuessr, if people have different monitors with resolutions, some people see more than other people.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Um, Although I've got a 4K monitor, so I think I probably should have. Oh, the resolution. Probably not so much the resolution, but maybe the aspect ratio. That could be a
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
there.
that as well. Yeah. So if you have a widescreen, it might actually be super cheat for GeoGuessr,
Yeah,
I think.
it could be for sure. But yeah, everyone's ready for the next round, so we're gonna start it right here, and we're gonna see if that one takes a little bit longer. Right, we got a decent sign here. It should be Norway, if I remember correctly. Very far north of Norway.
Yeah, not a lot of trees. I mean, a little some brushes, kind of.
Mm, maybe even like far northeast. Like if I were to guess somewhere, I'd guess around this area here. Somewhere like what's the road direction? Yeah, maybe somewhere like here. Although with the mountains over there, maybe even somewhere like here. Well, let's see. I'm gonna let the time run out. And oh, it was
Yeah,
really far south actually.
yeah, I'm,
It's
I'm often
interesting.
surprised that those really northern-looking Norway rounds are often not that far north for some reason.
Yeah, very interesting.
That seems to happen all the time when I see those rounds.
That would have been a very fun distance game. Oh, quick Philippines. Cookie didn't get. I mean, he wasn't quick enough. That. I mean, it looks
Hare.
very. I don't know. I want to say it looks very Bolivian to me, but I could be wrong about
But
that.
there could be the Peruvian post there, black
Oh yeah,
and
right.
white. Yeah, yeah,
Well, as we've already learned today, Peru and Bolivia can look very similar.
yep.
What is this?
This is weird.
Definitely.
Road lines look like Sweden, right?
Yeah, but I don't think this is. Oh, it is Sweden. Okay,
It
never mind.
is. Okay. Weird Sweden,
Yeah.
definitely. And another one.
Mm.
A
Another
more
one.
typical one.
One that actually looks like Sweden.
And it
Everyone's
isn't
locked
half
in
blurred.
except Kodiak. There he goes as well, and everyone guesses it right. Jake actually dropped out of that last Sweden one. He was the one who didn't get it in time. What do we have here? I think there's like a yellow sign in the distance, but obviously can't read what it says.
This one is confusing. I have no idea, but there's
Serbia?
probably more than enough. Serbia?
Maybe. I mean, yellow
Hmm.
signs usually is what I associate with Serbia or Croatia, but Milan's already guessed Croatia incorrectly. Slovenia also has yellow signs, but it doesn't really look like Slovenia to me.
Yeah, definitely doesn't feel like Slovenia, the typical ones. So,
And I think that's all of the
yeah.
countries with yellow signs out of the way. North Macedonia, I think, has some yellow signs, but none like that. Let's see. No one except Milan's guessed yet. As always, they're waiting.
Wait till quick death. Death.
Yeah. Harry's still in there. Still going for
Yeah,
his third win today.
he's got his 10-meter wide monitor.
Curves all the way around him for a full 360 view. Dennis got it. It was survey, yeah. An actual
Was
good guess
okay.
from me, for once.
Yeah, I got really confused. I first thought it's Asia or Africa when I saw it first. So I
Yeah,
was
my
really
first
confused
my
by that
first
one.
look at the houses was kind of like an African vibe as well, but as soon as I saw that sign, I was like, that's an interesting round. More so from how it
Mm.
looks. Um
Reminds me a bit of Kyrgyzstan. But
it,
is
it
it?
looks similar. I don't think it is. I'm not 100%, but I don't recognize it as Kyrgyzstan, and I've played a lot of Kyrgyzstan. Uh
What are other possibilities?
I
Even
mean, something
Mongolia?
like no, I don't think
Russia?
so. Maybe Russia. I also thought of maybe something like Argentina or Chile.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But yeah.
These are the times where it's like maybe there's a bar in the car below the red screen that says you are knocked out, which we'd never know about. But Dennis
But
and
if it
DJ
were
have got it.
obvious, then it probably
Yeah, true.
they would have it.
Kodiak guessed Turkey and is eliminated in this round. It's an option I could see.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Turkey
I
has
mean, the mountains are a bit too. I don't know.
snowy.
The mountains don't really
I don't
remind me
know.
of Turkey, but the landscape apart from those definitely.
A lot
And
of cattle here. There must be a clue for it.
it was
It
Kyrgyzstan.
was
Okay.
Kyrgyzstan.
I wonder
Okay.
where that was exactly. Interesting.
Oh boy.
Well, what have we got? Could
Any
be.
European style narrow
Yeah, yeah,
road, it
yeah.
seems,
Definitely Europe.
but
Um,
no idea where.
Slovakia, Czechia, Austria, Slovenia, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
about.
true.
But out of those, I have no idea which one it would be. I don't know. Somehow like the first thought I had was kind of looks like Austria, but not quite, which to me is always Slovenia then. But I'm not sure Slovenia has any like mountainous regions like that.
Feels a little bit barren, but yeah, I think Slovenia is a very good guess
Yeah,
here.
I think it feels barren just because it's relatively high up in terms of altitude.
Yeah,
Like I'd guess we're probably somewhere about like somewhere between like 800 and 1100 meters would be my guess above sea level. And the mountains in the background could be like 1.5, 1.6
here
kilometers.
it comes.
Yeah, no, nothing's happening around yet. No one's guessed anything. Let's
Watch it
see.
now.
Central European roulette. Not Slovenia. It was
What?
Montenegro. Okay.
What? Really?
Yeah, I
And
can
how
see
the
it.
trick to know? That,
Very
I
good
mean,
guess.
possible, but that's not a country that I would have had on my radar at all.
Yeah, I had a short thought of whether it could be anything of the Balkan countries, and I mean I didn't really there was nothing that came to my mind that would have made me think that over something like, Slovenia, Austria, Slovakia. But yeah, it's not super surprising, but definitely a very good guess from him that that was the first thing that came to. I mean, we don't know if it's the first thing that came to his mind, but it was the thing he decided on. So he
Maybe
stops he
that's
stops
why.
Harrier from winning three in
Maybe,
a row.
maybe that's why there was less trees on the mountains than
Yeah,
I would have thought about if it were just Slovenia.
could be. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at the standings before we get into our second event of the day. And unsurprisingly, Harry is still, coming in high in the scoreboard on the last game too. So he's in the lead with 25 points so far. And behind that, it's still really close. Dennis and Trichter only half a point apart. Then a small gap, 2 points to Kodiak and Emon. Another little gap to DJ. Another small gap to Jake. And then Milan and Cookie already a bit behind. So we're going to see if they'll be able to overturn that in the distance mode in a bit. All right. So we're here for the second event of the day. We're now, as always, with this season's tournament, same game mode, but moving over to the distance battle royales. Still NMPZ, still single guess. And yeah, I think people are ready, so we can get right into this one. And as always, the first round, I'm going to be the one to go out. No one should use more than one guess, but they only have one guess. They can't use more than one guess anyway. Any
Yep.
ideas, Radux, for this one?
The way the plate of that sign looks makes me think Spain, and of course
Yeah,
also the landscape, but that makes me almost certain that it's Spain.
yeah, I had the same thought. It looks very Spanish, the back of that sign.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's so funny.
yeah, the houses in the back look kind of fit with the general architecture as well. Um, I'm just thinking, is there anything else it could possibly be? I don't know. Maybe Portugal. What kind of backs of the signs does Portugal have?
I don't know, maybe similar ones. Not
Yeah.
sure.
We'll see if this one could potentially be anything other than Spain. No, certainly not. In Tomeyozo. But let's get into the more interesting rounds now that I'm out.
Oh, I wonder what this country could be.
It is a very interesting one, though, because now
Hmm.
it comes down to who knows Cambodian landscape. I think there's 3 people who either know it very well or have no clue anyway, and are just gonna guess. I think it could. Cambodia is always difficult because there's a couple of areas that have similar looks but are somewhat far apart. I feel like it's relatively northern. Um,
Yeah, kind of same, yeah.
I want to say northeast, but we'll see. Nope, the
No,
other
it
area,
was this
southwest.
area.
Yeah, and it's essentially like this area and this area over here look pretty similar, and everyone just hedging in the middle. The one area that it definitely can't be. Nice. That's an interesting one. Is that Italy?
Hmm. Possible, but I'm not sure at all.
I like the clearly artificially planted trees in the background. I hope just Pustetli pays attention to the fact that no one should guess more than one time.
Yep. I hope he does.
Yeah, there's a couple countries that are also on my radar that maybe it could be, but none of them really to the same extent as the feelings I get for Italy.
Yeah, and Italy does have some of these like foggy kind of wintry pictures. So it would make
Mm,
sense.
yep, it
It
was
is
Italy.
northern
I, lo-
Italy.
I love how the people that did go for Italy all went in the exact right area.
Jeez, Cookie was like almost 5K, I
Mm,
think.
get a pretty good guess. Oh god.
Oh,
Greenland, welcome.
Greenland, right?
Yep. Now that's interesting. Who knows their meta?
How do we know if it's Nuke or not?
I
That's what
I
I
I
always wonder
think I
because I
think
don't know the small towns.
I think Nuke would have more houses than these 7, or 8.
Yeah, but we also only see one side. There could be way
True,
more on the other side, and the coast could be on the other side as well. So
true. I still
I'm
don't
not
think it's
sure.
Nuke. I think it's one of the others, but I have no idea which one it would be.
Yep. Nuke is the only one that I know decently well, or at least I've seen it more than once.
The names don't really help in making it any more recognizable either.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody got a Q?
And
Bear
it
me a Q.
was
Yeah, Q Town.
Tiftleg. That's not even like that's not land. Someone drew
What?
roads into the middle of the water. Well,
That's weird.
I'm just gonna assume like because of climate change, the ice has melted away, and now what we just saw there is a town that has since sunk into the water.
Probably. What is this railing? I don't know. It looks so specific, but I don't know it.
Brazil, just I don't know.
Brazil? I think if it would be Brazil, I would know it.
Malaysia.
I would have seen it from playing Brazil quite a bit. Yeah, I rather think Malaysia or something like that. But
Those are kind of the only 2 countries that came into my mind that could have those double yellow lines, which is what I
huh,
was mostly looking at.
true. Huh.
I don't think the trees help at all. They look very generic. And Trichter, last to guess and also out. It was Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they also do the yellow lines, right?
Milan, the only one to get the country right. A lot of people in Peru and 2 in Brazil. and Trichter just further away than Kodiak.
Huh.
Some clothes. Yep.
Hmm. Some Southeast
That
Asia, most likely.
actually it feels more South American to me, but it could be Southeast Asia. I don't really
Really?
know. Is that a church in the background? Those look like crosses.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Yeah, I think it could be, but that's so weird. Then that's probably not a cross.
Yeah. I, I don't really. Yeah, I could imagine both. I wouldn't be surprised with either South America or Asia. But there's nothing really.
If it's South America, then it has to be what? Colombia?
Yeah,
Ecuador?
somewhere in the north.
Probably these two.
Yeah. But what would it be if it was Asia?
Many possibilities,
Okay.
I think.
Indonesia,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, Indonesia makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Even out with a guess in Cambodia.
Cambodia, I could also see, yes.
Uh,
But
I think the landscape didn't look Cambodian to me. The houses I could see. What do we have here?
mm, huh,
I'm assuming the flags in the background are just, flags for shops, some advertisements.
probably.
Oh, hmm.
This one is rough.
I want to
You're
say something
driving
like,
on the right, at least, but
yeah.
maybe
Al-
Mexico? I don't know.
it's a fun one. My guess was Albania. Um,
Oh,
it,
okay.
it, it could, I really don't know. It could be Mexico.
And I'm not thinking Mexico because of the colored flags. I'm thinking it otherwise for some reason. But I'm like very unsure. It's
Yeah.
really a wild guess
My
here.
first thought,
Could
like, if
be.
we ignore the direction the cars are driving in, my first thought would have been South Africa just from how everything looks, but obviously it can't be. And it's, oh,
What?
Curacao.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Right.
Okay.
Milan guessed Russia and is out of that one.
Interesting.
Okay. Argentina or Uruguay?
Yeah, same thought.
Have those typical arrows that we saw in the very first round of today as well here on that street sign.
Hmm. More likely to be Argentina just because of the size, but
Mm.
it can be Uruguay.
Yeah, actually I one time, I think it was for Reddit League. I looked at all the street signs in the biggest cities in Uruguay, and I don't think any of them had these kind of wood-like brownish signs. So I think based on that, it would either be like a very small town in Uruguay that I just didn't check, or just Argentina. In which case, I'd probably guess rather not too far north, but around the like Buenos Aires area, maybe Rosario or something like that. It looks like Kodiak's out. No, other side. Las Toninas. And DJ won with the one guess in the incorrect country. That
What?
also always brings back the argument of, is that really a worse guess? He was closer in terms of landscape than the other two. What do you really base a good guess on? Distance or being in the right country? What do we have
Is
here?
the thing there says CCTV, right?
Yeah, it
But
does.
I don't know.
But is that it looks to me, I it feels weird because everything here to me looks European sort of. But it looks like these are
Yeah.
Korean symbols on the CCTV sign.
Yeah, I don't see it as well as you do, but I also think they do not look like Latin characters or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could be. I mean, the trees look a little bit like special for European
It
trees.
was South Korea, yeah.
So,
Very far south.
crazy.
Yeah. And DJ wins that one ahead of Dennis and Kodiak. We had some very interesting rounds in that one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
let's
we've
take
had a lot of interesting rounds today, I
yeah,
think.
take another quick look at the standings. Harriet dropped a lot of points in that one by finishing second last. And essentially, his big lead that he managed to gather in the first three rounds of today has pretty much evaporated. He's only 1 point ahead of Dennis at this point. And then we've got another nice little grouping with DJ, Kodiak, Tricht, and Eamon, who are all just 1 point apart from each other. And then at the bottom, Milan, Jake, and Cookie fighting for not last.
Yeah, DJ is doing well. Third place currently.
Mm, he hasn't had the best of seasons if you look at the total score. He had, I mean, to be fair to him, he had a pretty good last 2 weeks, but his start to the season wasn't good with an 8.5. But gotta always remind people the two worst weeks of play of every player will be deleted. So that 8.5 probably doesn't even come into contention for DJ. So that could still be a candidate for finishing probably, maybe even fighting for the podium.
True, yeah, that's quite interesting, yeah.
All right, so we've got two more rounds. Everyone's ready for the second to last, penultimate round of today. So let's get going. I mean, essentially, I could have already just clicked start and we could have talked about the table for a minute because the first round doesn't matter anyway. But here we are, looking at Africa.
Hmm. Yeah, the greenhouse makes me think Nigeria.
Yeah, I had the same thought. Also, this advertisement board there just looks like something that would be religious. I don't know if it is, but that's just what it reminds me of.
It always is.
It's always about religion in Nigeria and quite a bit in Ghana as well, I think. Yeah, everyone's made their guess. Because Jake always guessed, or was it? I think it was Jake last time. Guessed sort of all the way off screen there in the middle of nowhere. I can't even like put a guess down and be wrong, and have everyone
Yeah,
else
you
advance.
might win.
Yep. I mean, I'm not gonna win, but I won't be last, which is the problem. And anyone actually seriously who? Oh, Milan is the one who put the guess out there at this time. It was just sort of outskirts of Lagos. All right, this is where it actually gets interesting now. Huh.
Hmm. Some
Feels,
European.
yeah. My first
But the
thought,
house? What is this architecture? Feels
yeah,
so different.
my first
I don't
thought
know.
was Italy, but could also be something like Slovenia again, maybe.
Yeah, is that wine on the left side? Could be.
I don't think I've in my whole life ever seen.
Vineyards.
Yes.
Not wine. Not wine yet.
Not quite
I
wine.
think
No,
I think
I,
those
I have
are
seen wine
could
before, yes.
you have seen at the store.
On the table, being drunk by some
Ah,
other person. Um,
ah.
Cookie's still waiting for his guess, I think. Oh, yeah, he's still in red. Although, with, yeah, okay.
It
Yep, was
was
Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Mm,
Yeah,
Cookie
they
going
do
for
have
Italy.
some vineyards. I've
Yep.
also seen them in the west, around the coast in Slovenia. So I'm a
Mm,
little bit surprised it's so far east. Oh
mm.
boy, what is this sign on the left side? Is it just
I
because
mean,
there's
there's bushes on the right. You probably wouldn't be able to see the sign. I want to say
maybe?
I want to say it's Peru. Um,
Yeah, probably location with mountains like these that look a little bit different. Yeah, they are often in Peru. Yeah,
mm,
makes sense. Would make sense at least. But it's distance, so you can get the wrong country. Guess Brazil and win it.
yep, you definitely could. I don't think you could actually, if it's Peru, I don't think you could actually guess Brazil and win it if, there's not someone else who guessed horribly.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, probably.
I think Harry has already guessed, so he's out of this one. And yeah, just outside of Lima.
Crazy. Just take the go, fly to Lima, take the road up the mountain, and you will be there.
Yep, half an hour by car away from Lima. Ah, that could be interesting. I mean, a big Indonesian flag to start us off. So who can
Hmm.
guess Indonesia based off of, I don't know, whatever we've got here. This says Jakarta Utara. Um,
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what Utara means. It's, I think,
Is it
a
south? But
direction. I had south in my head as well, which makes me think it could be right.
I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, it could be south.
There's some, I think you don't even need to know really because you can always just check Sulawesi, because on Sulawesi it's written in Indonesian. So you can just check, okay, this is, south and stuff like that. Or I might be misremembering, it might be written in English there.
Let me
I think there's
see.
some areas where you can
Sulawesi.
check. Yeah, and a lot of people did not see the sign for Jakarta. It also wasn't really South Jakarta, it was in East Jakarta. Um
It was
no,
east.
yeah, it just says it in English for Sulawesi. So I think the
Yeah.
German map might say it in Indonesian, but yeah, probably safer to just learn the 4 or 5 words that you've got with Central as well. We've got a nice view of some rocks again.
Hmm. Looks pretty dry and weird camera quality.
Hmm,
So could be Greece maybe.
I could see that. Yeah. My first thought would have been a bit more like central, not too central, but like a bit further north than Greece. I could also see something like maybe Sardinia.
Yeah, could also be, yeah. Or one of the volcanic islands or
Yeah,
something as well.
demons out here. And okay, yeah, makes
One
sense.
of the
La
volcanic
Palma.
islands.
Yep. Demon guessing New Zealand.
Jake guessed Greece. No.
Now that's interesting
Spasiba.
because we've got Cyrillic here. I mean, the more I look at it, the more I look at like the wall and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, could
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
Russia, makes sense. But
At
my
first I
first,
also thought Mexico or something, I don't
yeah,
know.
was South Africa, just something not Russian speaking. But yeah, it would make sense to be Russia.
I never see Spasiba written in on any sign, so
Hmm.
looks like some very thankful Russians here.
I want to say like super far east is my gut instinct, but it could also
Mm,
just be completely wrong.
could be. Could also be in the dry part
Yeah,
in the south there,
but I mean, I'm not sure. Like, it looks like
because
it's
it
either
feels off.
like a hill back there, or it's just the trees making it look like there's one.
Yeah, could be just the
Yeah,
trees.
it was
It
just,
is
yeah,
south, very south. Yeah.
on the coast actually. That's
Wow.
interesting. About 100 meters away from the Black Sea there.
Please do not pollute the beach or something. Maybe it said
Ah, that
on
could
the
be.
sign. Uh, Slovakia this time, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe could be.
That house in the middle makes me think Slovakia or maybe Slovenia. Sometimes those two countries seem to be the have the same kind of houses. Sometimes
Yeah, I don't know.
they
There's just something that makes me like. My general vibe says neither of those two. My general vibe says something like Hungary, maybe. But I realize that's
Hungary.
probably pretty similar to.
That's high mountains for Hungary as
Hungary
well.
does have
Yeah, they do have
some
some,
areas
but
with a few mountains.
yeah, And it's close to Slovakia, so maybe.
Mm,
Who knows?
Dennis is the one who's out here. It was Slovakia. Okay, fair enough. Alfred Martin. We've got Kodiak, Jake, and Trichter here. I think Jake hasn't had any top 3 results this event so far, so that'd be quite nice for him. What is this?
I have no idea. The soil is kind of orangey.
Hmm. This is one of those guesses where if I get that in an NPZ challenge, I could tell you about, well, 10 countries where it might be.
Could be Asia. There's a few countries in Asia that it could be. Could also be Brazil.
I wouldn't even be shocked if it was Australia.
Yeah, true. It could be, but I think it's less likely.
Hmm.
Although, yeah, I mean, the longer I look at it,
It's not Central
maybe.
Europe, I think.
Yeah, yeah, probably not.
And Jake's out here. Uh,
Ooh,
Peru. Ah, okay, that area. In the absolute middle of
jeez.
nowhere. I like how that road is called industrial. Don't know what industry they've got there, but sure.
Yeah, probably mining or something.
Maybe. Probably wood.
Maybe there's enough of that in the
Hmm.
Amazon.
What do we have here? Probably Asia, right?
Yeah, I think so, although I'm not 100% sure.
Same. Um, what could it be? This sign somehow makes me think of the Philippines, but
Yeah, that could be. But I have no concrete guess here.
mm, Codex already gone through with his. We're still waiting for Trichter.
Is Sri Lanka possible here even?
Uh,
Or not?
maybe.
Just wonder if it's even possible. Oh
No, Peru.
wow. It's Peru again. And again in the
Oh, it's
kind of
just
Amazon.
here. Oh, that makes sense, actually. I think I had it in a tournament not too long ago. I had a round that was in one of these suburbs, and I think it was this suburb, actually. And now that I look at it, I'm like, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, I did have like a small feeling of it could be South America, but even then, I would have had. I don't know if I'd gone for Peru out of everything. But yeah, so Kodiak wins this one ahead of Trichter and Jake, which for the standings, if I click on the right tab, means that it's Dennis who actually takes the lead by coming in 4th in this event. Harry has just fallen down the standings with 2 8th place finishes, and it's Kodiak and Trichter in 2nd and 3rd. And then it's DJ in 5th, Eamon in 6th, Jake in 7th with that good performance, and Milan in 8th, which pretty much, yeah, not only pretty much, but it does seal Cookie's last place in this event because he's already 9 points behind and he can only make up 8 points per game. But it's definitely leaving a lot of room for an exciting last game with only 3 points between Harrier and Dennis.
Yeah, one of these four should win it. It should be assumed,
Yeah.
unless something really, unless the first four drop out as first four,
Well,
and
even
then
then, they'd still
yeah,
get
even then,
probably like 3, 2.5 points, something like that, and then it'd almost be impossible. But in theory,
yeah, in theory,
DJ and
if
Eamon could
it's
still win it.
possible.
But I think we should speculate less and we should just get going. Let's see. Last event
Yes,
for today. Oh, I clicked go in. Someone dropped out the last second, I think. Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9.
should
Abort.
be 10
Abort.
abort.
Not live. Yep. Someone dropped out at the last second right as I hit start, which
Yeah,
obviously,
I think it was Milan, apparently, according to chat.
apparently, I didn't actually see it. Might be. All right, so we're waiting for everyone to come back. I hope people realize that, they should move to the new lobby. But we're getting almost everyone in there. PJ just wrote that Cookie's still playing that game. I mean, he
Cookie's
should.
like, finally I can win.
Yeah, he's had a rough day today. That will just make it worse when he thinks he's finally won it, and then it's just turned out to be, well, all for nothing. But I mean, to be fair, we've got most of the players in here, so the other game should be over any second now, even if, one or two people might still be playing that one seriously. I mean, Milan was never in there, so it can only be Cookie who's left in that game. The only
Yep.
the only thing that could happen theoretically is that Cookie just is like, yes, I've won, and then turns off the computer and goes to sleep.
Yeah, because it's the last game, right?
Milan's in here.
Cookie's like, no, I won.
It's my win. The thing is, it doesn't even change anything. We've already we've already made sure before that Cookie is last already. He can finish first in the last round. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah, so if he wouldn't come, it doesn't matter actually, which is surprising, but just let me win.
Yeah, Pastetli's made sure that Cookie gets informed of the other lobby happening. Yep, there he is. All right.
There he is, Mongolia's finest.
Yep. If Milan drops out again, we're playing it. I'm just telling you right now. All right. Starting in 10. I'm watching you, Milan. Don't dare. I'm moving my mouse to the start game button, and I'm
Look
clicking
at Milan
in
again.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so okay, good. We're in. That's an interesting one. I think it's probably just Argentina or Chile, relatively far south. Um, but it is one where I'd be curious in where people guess because it could be relatively close.
Argentina usually has double yellow line, right?
Mhm. I'm not a road line expert.
I know they do have double yellow, but I'm not sure if they always have it. I'm not, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, this feels so weird. So I have actually no better idea than what you said.
You've got the signs on the right as well. Otherwise, just with the landscape, I could have maybe imagined someplace in New Zealand, but with the signs on the right, can't really be. Should be like somewhere down here is where I'd say probably in this sort of area. I think Chile is more likely than Argentina. And yep, that's pretty much exactly where I pointed to. Via Manihuales, just north of Coyhaique, which is still my favorite town name in Chile. Is that, what is that?
Yeah, I wonder too. It's also a weird one.
That just the US?
Yeah, it could be, but there's a small car and the house on the right. Both things make me think not US, but the
Yeah,
street makes me. Yeah, I mean,
I was just thinking of
it's
right driving
also. Mm,
countries. Could it be like very far northern Argentina? No, it's just, Alabama.
just Alabama.
Yep, okay.
Always has been. Sweet home, baby.
This looks, at least from the little I can see behind the map, looks like a cool area.
And another crazy one.
Hmm.
What is this, man?
What is that over the, is that a canal down there? And
Yeah,
hmm.
I think so, yeah. Should be.
Very interesting round.
Bhutan comes to mind, but probably won't be. But
No, I don't think so. Japan came to mind for me from, but I
oh,
don't think
oh
it
yeah, that
is. But
yeah. Now that you
maybe.
say, some of these railing, I think they can be in
Yeah, I
Japan.
think there's that stone kind of
Oh
wall
yeah,
looks
that
Japanese as well.
looks very perfect. So
What should be somewhere like Central European or something.
yeah, it's also not impossible. The street up there is
It
very
was
narrow.
Japan. Okay,
It
nice.
was an island, Nishinoshima, probably. Or
Mimura
what
camping
was it?
ground. It was, yeah, Nishinoshima.
Nishinoshima.
Nishinoshima, I assume in the pronunciation actually.
Yeah, probably.
Russia.
Makes more sense. Yeah, probably. Something like that.
Yeah, that's actually one where I would be surprised if it wasn't Russia. I mean, maybe somewhere in the Ukraine, but feels
Hmm.
more Russia to me.
Doesn't feel Baltic,
Mm,
but it's distant, so it will be interesting to
yeah,
see.
definitely.
How far east do we need to go?
It
Is it
feels
very west?
feels very like nondescript Russian as well. Like this could be almost anywhere in the country.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably not too far, not too close where the area we had in Russia last time was,
Yeah,
because that area
not
doesn't
probably
really
not
look like
south,
that.
but could still be in some of the greener areas there, but that's the area that's most
It
unlikely, yeah.
was Demyanka.
Near,
How was
yeah, there where they have
wait?
oil and stuff.
How is Dennis
Right.
fourth? Where are the other
What?
three guesses? What?
What? Weird.
What happened there?
Hmm. I don't know. I didn't see
Well,
enough.
we'll just assume Geoguessr did everything correctly and just didn't show us the first three people, wherever they
I'm
may
look
have guessed.
I'm looking at chat, and so far no one is writing anything, so
Seems like everyone's fine.
maybe.
Let's just continue. Maybe three people found a secret cheat where if they placed a point at a specific spot, it's always counting as 0 meters. Or the game just messed up, as usual. That's, by the way,
Yeah.
this is a Chilean thing. The
Ah,
blue
yeah,
stripe and the red
the
stripe.
blue and red,
Yep.
yeah, where it says Gobierno de Chile, right?
Yes, exactly. That's like the one
Yeah,
thing I know. I mean,
yeah. I
landscape
forgot
wise,
about
yeah.
that, but now that you mention it, I know what it says on there.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Harry is really not having a good time in distance mode today. He did get Chile as well, but yeah, all the way in the north. In
It says
Pocon,
Chile.
Chile.
It
Yep.
says Chile.
There's the Chile restaurant as well.
Hmm. Oh boy.
That's an
Uh,
interesting one. Very interesting one.
could it be Kyrgyzstan?
That was my first thought landscape wise as well, yes. It looks very Kyrgyz.
I first thought Peru, but maybe just because we had it just
Yeah,
kind
but
of similar or
well,
something.
I've played so many games in Kyrgyzstan. What are the chances we get two areas of Kyrgyzstan I don't recognize in one evening of gameplay?
True.
There could, I mean, it's either Kyrgyzstan or it's somewhere in South America, like Peru, probably. I don't actually see it being anywhere else in South America.
Yeah, probably Peru if it's South America. Or Chile, but
Maybe, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Could
that
be
would make
very
sense as
far
well.
northern. No,
It's
it's just
just, yeah, it
Kyrgyzstan.
is.
Oh, it's down here. Okay, that makes sense.
Looks like you need to re-practice Kyrgyzstan again.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to have guessed anywhere in Kyrgyzstan, I probably would have gone down there. With the knowledge that it was definitely Kyrgyzstan. But yeah, I just didn't recognize it, the area. That,
We're driving on the right, it seems.
I mean,
I
think it
think.
should be Brazil, but
Brazil?
I mean the only thing I'm basing this on is that the back of this sign looks black to me.
Ah,
Based on I mean, I don't really see much alternatives. The only alternatives I see it potentially being is something like Malaysia or
yeah,
Indonesia, something like that.
that's what I was rather thinking, but I'm not sure what weighs more, the black thing there or
Mm,
not. Also, the house there, for some reason. I mean, we don't see much, but it
yeah,
feels like not Brazilian to me for
yeah.
I don't know what reason.
It was
It's
Peru.
Peru again. Well, cause
It's
why
the
not?
same road as well. We had our
It's
last
Per
location here.
it's Peru all evening.
Yep. And Tricht is out of that one, which leaves DJ, Jake, and Dennis, which I think means Dennis is in has already won. If I haven't got it completely wrong.
Let me see. Yeah, Dennis has won. Yeah, that's true.
All right. So it's just about, DJ and Jake maybe making up a couple of positions here. What is this?
Stadium stopover. Is
It
this just
feels.
South Africa? But
I
what?
don't think
He's driving in the
so.
middle of the road.
I think they're driving on the right.
Oh yeah, it's on the
Um,
right then.
I wanna say. I mean, we haven't really got anything left except for Ghana or Nigeria. Um,
Yeah, must be that
I
then.
wanna say Ghana, but
Yeah, probably Ghana. More likely than Nigeria.
we've got a lot of flags over there. I just can't really see any of them correctly, and I don't even know if they're country flags. Yeah, where's Ghana? In Akimoda, right next to the sports stadium. And it is Dennis who's out of this one. So he was like, I've got my win. Bye. I'm out.
And the last interesting round.
I think this might be the first time today that we're actually seeing the sun directly. What could
This
this.
North America, I'm wondering. And is the road lines, are they yellow or are they
I
white?
think the road lines are white, and it doesn't really look like North America to me. Hmm,
What else could it be? Hmm.
not sure. Portugal?
Yeah, true. That could be. Not sure about the road lines. I don't know,
Hmm,
but
I
yeah, those
don't know either.
trees. Yeah,
Yeah,
they Portugal has those trees on
yeah,
the right. They
mainly what I
do,
was thinking about.
and it's the soil looks kind of dry. So yeah, Portugal would also make sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I would have won. Never mind the fact that I probably would have been eliminated much earlier. But yep. I like the fact as well how DJ probably he saw, okay, he's like 50 kilometers behind Shake, and he was like, damn, so close. And then they see, oh, yep, thousands of kilometers away.
No one deserves the victory here.
Yeah. But well, they got here in the first place. Bad last guess, but still. Close enough. And it's Jake who, after not the best evening, at least manages to win one round for himself, just ahead of DJ, which means the final standing, as we already mentioned, Dennis wins it, 2.5 points ahead of Kodiak. Then in 1 point increments, it's Trichter and DJ, who, with a win there at the end, could have had another third place finish, but like this, he's got to be happy with fourth. Then Harrier, who dropped down a lot from his halftime lead all the way down to fifth. Jake still manages to overtake Eamon in that last game and finishes sixth ahead of Eamon, then Milan, and then yeah, not the best showing from Cookie today. He had that one round that he won, where only he was playing. But other than that, yeah, 11 points behind Milan in second to last. And I guess we'll talk about the implication of that on the standings next week. Any last words, Radox? Any comments?
Yeah, no. Milan, the champion, is struggling once again.
Mm,
Interesting that this happens again and again, apparently. But
Yep.
yeah,
All
good
right.
job from Dennis, and we'll see each other next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.